Welcome to the 61st episode of Indie and Music Industry World. Ladies and gentlemen, Justice Joslin.
Hello, Justice.
What's up, dude?
How's it going?
Hey, man, this is cool.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining my podcast. I'm listening to your music and you totally rock. Congrats so much,
Yeah.
How this start
Cool.
your journey in music? When it was the right moment when you realized that was your moment to create music?
Sure. Um, you know what? When I was a kid, teenager, 13 or 14, maybe, I had a dream. And in that dream, I was playing a drum beat from a movie.
Wow.
And I woke up and I pulled out my great grandfather's drum kit that we had stored in the attic. And it's a 1942 Slingland Bomber drum kit. And that next day, I started playing the drums. I was just playing the beat that I was
Wow.
doing in my dream. And I was like, okay, I can do this. And so I started out, on the drums and piano. And then most of my life played music with my older brother. He was a singer-songwriter, and so
Yeah.
I played drums and bass with him. And then I got involved with playing in some rock bands later in life and got really into recording music. And then I got into writing my own music just about 4-5 years ago when I left Los Angeles and felt inspired to start actually writing music. I did it all. A lot of the stuff that I've released, I did on just a long road trip. I was traveling around California, Northwest America, Alaska, Canada, and I lived in my van, my Volkswagen van, for about 6 months. And then a lot of the songs I've wrote during
Amazing.
that.
You had just like basically an authentic sound, something that is totally different and it's absolutely cool. What drives you to recording your music in a skipper room? And it's just like
Yeah.
absolutely cool.
Well, that's exciting. I had a room in LA called the Skipper Room, and
Yeah.
it was all just tape machines and old vintage gear. And that's when I really fell in love with recording music, was through reel-to-reel machines. And on the property, we had people moving in and living in vans and yurts, and we were just recording, making music, just living in harmony, and a lot of the music we made, I haven't released. And so I've got hours and hours of music that we've been making and, just for fun. And so starting spring, I'm going to start releasing some of these songs because there's so many different people, and some of the same people were on the same songs. Some of the people lived at the property, some people didn't. But it was a really cool way of recording because it wasn't for any reason other than just to make some music, like a
Make
Saturday
somebody,
night.
and the results that you did something new from other kind of music, and I totally love it. Absolutely. High Road is a smash. How is Born the track? Congrats so much.
You like High Roads?
Yeah, and honest, all the tracks, because what did inspire you to write it?
Well, I was actually driving in Colorado. I was going through Colorado to go into Denver, and I was headed down to eventually Austin, Texas. But in Colorado, I just kept climbing all these mountains, and I was just winding and winding. I just started
Yeah.
singing this melody, just like high roads, just big enough for me. And I, just driving. And then when I got to Denver, I just found a place to park the van and sleep. And then I wrote the song in the van. I remember parked in a park somewhere around the city. And then I just sat in the van for the day and worked out the idea of High Roads. Yeah. And the cool thing about that recording is I recorded it with my buddy Lucas Neufeld.
Yeah.
But he goes by Lucas Hayden in Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah.
And he is there's a band I was in called The Things, a rock and roll band, and him and I were the reason for the skip room and the community. So he recorded that song for me. It was just him and I, we just both played the drums,
That's
bass,
amazing.
guitar, and then Lucas played some guitar.
Yeah. Do you basically start as an idea, or maybe with the lyrics? What's happening in your mind? Basically, you start with the instrumental. How is the idea when it's born your track?
I mean, I guess it just started out as just me and a guitar. Sorry, I got that.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I'm trying to balance it. Hold on,
Yeah.
so I can figure it out.
Don't worry.
That should work right there. I just started thinking about where high roads could take me or could take anybody, driving or walking or going over mountains. And it kind of threw me into kind of a dream state of life. And, I like being literal to my life, but also maybe not as literal. Like, the first line is I'm leaving life at sea level. And that's a reflection of me leaving Los Angeles. Saying goodbye to my devil, just saying goodbye to like things that are keeping me afraid. And then reflecting kind of life in America, won't be consumed by the torture in the land. Like there's too much going on in the world in our land that's torturous, and so I kind of, my life is based around kind of seeking, my truth, how, my peace, and also observing kind of life around me and believing that we, can all live in beautiful harmony, as I experienced in Los Angeles when I lived in community. It was very beautiful. So I think those lyrics kind of reflect just my thinking of hope, what's over in the next horizon, and giving hope to those who want to seek adventure and their own path and like have no fear, keep on cruising. And you get to the top and you look over your own mountain, and if heaven's on the other side or your dreams are on the other side, cool. If not, cool, just keep on cruising. It's all good.
Yeah. How do you balance basically just like from as a musician, as a model, an actor too, and how do all this stuff influence each other?
Good question. It's all in relationship to just knowing myself. That's what I've learned over the years. With anything I've done that's revolved around acting or fashion, or music, the more I can connect with myself, the easier it is for me to perform. The more I try to be an actor, or try to be a model, or try to be a musician, which I have done and I do struggle with, it's not authentic. So for me to finding the balance of my own ability to present myself honestly is reflected in music, fashion, and the acting world. So for me, it helps just in life for me to know more of myself. and then if I know more of myself, then I'm able to give myself to the art of, fashion, music,
Yeah.
acting.
What kind of experiences did you had, just like made you the impact to create the music in that kind of the direction?
Well, when I first started recording music, I liked improvisation, jamming. I like capturing really honest, imperfect moments. And so then I put out a vinyl record years ago. I still have about 300 or 400 left to sell, but or give. And that record is me jamming, improvisation. It's really random. It's me trying to make music without making music. And so fast forward to now, I'm making an effort to make a song. Like, all right, how do I make a 3, 4, 5 minute song? And how do I make it cohesive? How do I make it poetic? How do I make it catchy? And so the music now is very much influence of me trying to make a song
Yeah.
and a story, but at the same time, trying to manage some authenticity and also like unpredictability in the music. But I am making effort to make a song that people listen to on repeat. I'm trying to capture attention, because a lot of music I like to make that I haven't released is improv and random and 10-12 minutes. It's
Amazing.
melodic. It's like melodic jamming where your emotions are kind
Yeah.
of like this. And I will release some of this music soon, but at first I wanted to release kind of more, shorter
I love the fact that
songs.
you grown in Nashville, right? So there's a lot of music there, but you totally had something that, okay, I didn't listen to this before, then that's amazing. Which artist has influenced you a lot?
I like Jackson Brown, and his acoustic playing and his voice when he sits there and plays acoustic. He did this live album years ago, and it's one of my favorite live albums in terms of kind of a raw, stripped down performance, and songwriting. I really enjoy Jim Morrison's stage presence,
Yeah.
random and free, whether it's drug induced or not. It's entertaining, and yeah, I mean, I grew up learning the guitar because of Jack Johnson and John Mayer. So I learned how to play acoustic guitar. I learned how to play the drums from Travis Barker and Blink 182.
Yeah.
And the bass and the guitar, actually. All the instruments I learned starting out was from Blink 182. So it kind of varies depending on the instrument I'm focusing on. I love the Doobie Brothers. I love like Al Green and Marvin Gaye, and like their ability to just kind of be cool and sit back and like storytell honestly. Yeah, anybody can sit there with a guitar and tell a story that's authentic. I like Tom Waits and his voice. Anything that's different. We have so much music right now that sounds the
Yeah.
same.
That sounds the same, right? You said the
Yeah.
right thing. Which are the most biggest challenges you had to afford, just like in music too?
Challenges for what?
Challenges, to create the music, and start this career.
For me, the challenge is just putting music out. So this past year has been my attempt to put out my own music. Like I said, I have hours and hours and hours and hours of music. And because it's not perfect, I'm like, But now I'm getting to the point where like, it doesn't matter, you know? So the challenges for me is just put it out.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're in an age where AI is starting to make perfect music. And I think putting out music that is like a group of people with all live instruments, you know, in a room where you can even hear them talking a little bit, I think is desired for the human essence of, you know, making a song. You know, most of my songs that I do is live instruments, you know, or one take vocal. High Roads is I can't remember what High Roads was, but some of the other songs I released was just one take. So yeah, the challenge is just putting the music out there and not thinking too much about it, because
Exactly.
you can overthink
Are you
all day
planning
long.
like to do some live shows around maybe the US or Europe too? You got my support.
Yeah, cool. Where are you based?
I'm in
Where are you
Italy, Milan.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, at some point, I think for now, I'm just building the songs. You know, I don't think I've necessarily hit my style yet. Like it's a cool phase because I'm looking for my sound as I'm releasing the songs. So at some point, there's going to be a sweet spot where I'm like, this is the sound I'm going for. High Roads is close, but it's a mixture of High Roads. And then the next song is coming out in two weeks called Running Wild.
Cool.
And that's a bit more, it's all live, like one take. And that's a cool vibe. So as the songs come out, I'll start finding out the kind of the show I want to put together. I just played a show a couple weeks ago in Tennessee where 5 or 6 songs. There was a banjo player, my brother's playing guitar and vocals, and I had a harmonica player. And so I'm starting to kind of piece together the idea of a show I want to do. And then at some point, I'll come play some shows. But I think it's important to, you know, musically gain a following, because most people know of me is just from fashion world.
And that's music too. Yeah.
It's music too, you know, to take the fashion, to mix it with the music. You know, it's interesting transition, and we'll see how people.
Well, the fact that, you know, you got a lot, there's a storytelling from track to track, you know. I feel that you want to count about your life, you know, and it's suddenly cool. Which is the message that you want to bring with your music?
What's the message?
Yeah.
Right now, the songs I'm releasing are a part of my life when I made a big leap of faith, where I sold my house. I got out of a relationship. Actually, the relationship left me, and then left my friends, and I drove away. I was like, I don't know where I'm going, but I drove north.
No, wow.
I went towards Alaska, you know, so, and then eventually ended up in Austin, Texas, then in Tennessee. And so that music's about just taking a leap. You know, I believe that our dreams are possible. I believe that what we want and desire are possible. I think a lot of people have a lot of fear and doubt in themselves. And I mean, I'm a living proof that things work out. My life is great, and it's for many reasons, but also because I constantly take a leap, you know, and I go after the unknown. I go after the mysteries of life. I put myself in uncomfortable positions, and it always works out for me. And so the music right now is just like, have hope, like if you got to leave your job, if you got to move away, if you got to like say no, if you got to make changes, it's not easy, but it's well worth it. And the journey of that change is the story.
That's an
the
amazing
adventure.
message. Wow. Thank you so much. Congrats so much. You know, thank you so much for your take your time with me and for this interview. You know, you totally got all my support for your music and all your stuff. Congrats so much. You rock.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Ciao, Bella.
Bye. Ciao.